Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Data here, and welcome back to our live franchise mode series here in NHL 24 with our expansion San Francisco Starfleet, your reigning Stanley Cup champions, moving into the 2034 draft and offseason, coming off of our second Stanley Cup in franchise history in the last one as we took down the LA Kings in 6 games. It was a wild postseason. Starting off, Jensen McKenzie, welcome to the stream. Starting off with the Detroit Red Wings, then the Calgary Flames and the Nashville Predators, and finally the LA Kings. All hail Grand Nagus Data. Thank you, Dice. This episode entitled Profit Problems. You're going to see it in the thumbnail. If you like Ferengis, you're going to see them in the thumbnail. I'll get into the storyline of the episode in a moment. First things first, if you're watching after you've already gone live, you can hop ahead to the 5-minute mark. That's when we'll get started. But if you are joining us live, you can just start welcoming everybody in as we get started on the draft and offseason here in 2034 in just a few minutes from now. King Turby, all rise for the king. Welcome, your highness. Glad everyone can join for a traditional franchise mode stream. We've done a lot of Wii's and Wii Sports, Mario Kart, challenges, stuff like that in the last little bit. So I think it's been a couple of weeks actually since we even did Starfleet. 2 weeks ago we called on the captain episode. Yeah, calling on the captain, episode 35. Now here, episode number 36 of this franchise mode series. It's sad I haven't really been thinking about it too much, but we're getting close to the end of all of our NHL 24 series. We have August, we have September, we have maybe a week in October. They're coming to an end maybe a bit faster than we might realize. Hello, Starfleet officers. Welcome, Hobbsy. Nathan, welcome to the stream. Let's get a good draft and good offseason. Yes, the biggest issue is the problem with profits. The profit problems. We've done so well that now we've come to, for the first time really, I think in this franchise mode, it's a bit hard when I'm mixing all the franchise modes together. I think it's the first time we're really kind of strapped for cash for that gold press latinum. So it's going to be a little tight here, profit problems. We might be forced into a trade even. We'll see what happens as the offseason gets underway. We could probably push any trade until July 1st. We don't need to feel forced to the draft. But probably at least, around that offseason free agency beginning time, that'll be when a trade is necessary due to the team that we have and the dollar amounts they're asking for. Eternity hath arrived. Yes, so sorry to keep you all waiting for the extra couple minutes. I said in the Discord 7:15, pushed to 7:30, but now, we made it. It's better than Tuesday being pushed like 9:30, but here we all are. Just taking care of the details on my end here. Be done in just a moment as we'll get started on the episode in about 2 minutes from now. Send out the tweet and all that stuff. Description's good to go. Profit problems, 2034 off season. Share that on Twitter, and the Discord bot has gone. We're good to go. Might be able to move up the draft by trading a big contract, leaving some space and a better pick. Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely one of our questions here, Nathan. Exactement comme ça, Nathan. That's exactly what we're thinking about. So, speaking of what we're thinking about, let me pull up the comments from the last one so they're ready to go in just a moment's time. Hope everyone's had a lovely week so far as we are now in the 1st of August 2024. Kicking off another month. July just absolutely flew. I know everyone says that about every month. Wow, that month flew by. This holiday season flew by. But nothing flew by in 2024 for me like July. Absolutely flew. Let me pull up the comments from the last one. There's a bit in the Discord server, a bit over on YouTube, a little bit of everything everywhere, which is cool to see. I think, yeah, there we go. Because with all the ongoing, the 3 different series at once, there's always different thoughts for different series coming all together. Perfect. Cool. So, yes, as I mentioned, we took down the wildcard Red Wings in 5 games, then the Flames, the 9-seed Wings in 6, the 4-seed Preds in 6 as well, and then the Stanley Cup Final in 6. You had something going on almost every day. Yeah, between visiting and hosting, entertaining, buying a bedroom set, buying sofas, buying a home alarm system, I don't know, things like that you never really think about. Having that installed, having deliveries made. It's been, as I've said a few times, the wallet's been hurting a little bit, but, it comes to the territory. It's not like I was totally, what? Paint costs more than $20 a wall? But, it's still more than I've spent in my lifetime. But, like I said, you make those investments, it lasts you for a long time. Now I'm not going to paint for another 2 decades, hopefully, something like that. And when I get married next year, it'll be nice to be able to move into everything ready to go. Now it's just the smaller details, like buying utensils, buying whatever else. Same data, but in reverse house situation. Yes, King Turby selling the house. Data, aside from new subs getting dono raffle entries, how many people were involved last time? Not how many we each had. How many people had entries? How many like individual people? I forget if it's 100. Like if someone had 100 entries and someone had one entry, you counted it as two. You're saying 2 people? I can tell you that right now. Mackenzie, welcome to the stream. Glad you could drop by. Mackenzie, always super consistent in the streams. Love to see it, Mackenzie. Let's pull that up. Home security protect from Slim. Yeah, gotta protect. Literally, 80% of the reason why I got the alarm system was to protect myself from Slim barging in at the wrong time. Let's see. The number of people who were involved. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 people were involved in the raffle, but some people had automatic guaranteed players. King Turby, Mila, Narf, Dice, Mark. Those are all guaranteed players. So in the entries, it was 12. For this next raffle, way more. Way more. Red, welcome to the stream. Way more people, which is great to see for the growth of the channel, right? And I look forward to getting your created players in for the NHL 25 series. So ladies and gentlemen, let's get it started. Profit problems here with an excess of talent, and now you own a team exactly, King Derby. We have an excess of talent, and unfortunately, yeah, it's great to be coming off of the Stanley Cup, but unfortunately, we're not going to be able to keep the entire squad together. Can I be your scout? You're signed. You're hired. Red, welcome aboard. You're a scout as much as all the other AGMs combined. Thank you for your service here for the Starfleet squad. So when we look at the all expiring heading into this off season, the cap space we'll have available is about $2.5 million. So we definitely want Nesterov. Pasternak's more of a guy we could probably let go, but even then, Jeremy, welcome to the stream. Bishop, even a question mark as well. But just Nesterov is more than all the money that we have, and that's not even thinking about any other depth players that we want to have on this team. No, the draft, we're just getting started here, Red. We are just getting started. Other players need contracts as well, not in the same tax bracket as Nesterov necessarily. And if we're looking goaltenders, Huberdeau would probably be a trade candidate. So there's a lot to think about moving into this offseason, because when you think about our forwards, right now, just our signed forwards, forget anybody unsigned, just our signed forwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, that's 9 right there. Vasi, welcome aboard. 10, 11 with Langkow, 11, that leaves one spot between Nesterov, Pasternak, and Bishop. Probably goes to Nesterov, as we're saying, but then you have good players who should be in a third-line role, like an Essa Blumdahl, who are then relegated to the fourth line. It doesn't make sense for us. Let me see. Mighty Joe, I had an idea for perhaps a one-off video. If we keep it simple, we should make a full NHL expansion team full of Discord members to see if we can win the cup. That would be really cool. If someone, the best way to do that would be if someone created that roster. Unfortunately, just the amount of time it would take to create that roster would be a couple live streams worth. But that would be a really cool idea. Make trades instead of walking. That's it. We definitely want to make sure. We don't want to lose value. We want the ROI on it all, right? That's exactly it, Mark. So that's the forwards. When we think about the defense moving into this offseason, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Jack High's not signed. We know in the system it's going to be Dale Mann or Kimi, right? Kimo Ylonen. So Ylonen and Mann, both with a couple spots there. If we need to trade someone, it seems as though it's going to be Bolduc or Ramirez. Ramirez is younger, a higher overall, a longer serving player in this organization, but he is American and he has struggled more than Bolduc. Bolduc, lower overall, older, more expensive, but when it comes to simulation results as a defensive defenseman, he is incredibly reliable. Reliable. That's what makes me want to make it work out for Bolduc, but it just might not. Vasi, if they were cross-platform rosters, yes, one of these days, Vasi, NHL 25, 26, one of those, probably 26, I would think, we're going to get it done. So trade candidates in this offseason, a few names being thrown around are, we've heard Moritz Seider's name be thrown around, we've heard Ramirez and Bolduc's names be thrown around. Could Pasternak's rights be moved? Probably for a late pick as well. Skylar Lucic is going to be starting his $6.1 million extension with at 82 overall and his bottom 6 potential. Ramirez is better and one outlier season. You're right. It's more the nationality that makes me consider Ramirez moving if anybody were to move. Skylar Lucic, if you haven't been following this series, this is quite possibly, and this is a big statement, my favorite franchise mode story of all time. It's definitely in my top 5. The guy was a random third-round pick of Seattle. We picked him up in free agency, threw him in the AHL for 3 years. He became a monster down there. Called him up to the NHL as a 76 overall. In first year, 39 points, that's great. Second year, 41 goals, 67 points. And last year, 33 goals, 65 points. Now at 82 overall as a bottom 6 potential forward. Skylar Lucic now be making $6.1 million. So, yeah, well, I'm going to... Oh, perfect. Me 6 just gave the notification. I'm going to run through... Before I give my thoughts, let's run through the comments in the last one, as the AGMs had a little bit to say. Actually, quite a bit to say in the last one. Skylar Lucic, Data Hall of Fame, yep. I'm going to start it off with more of an explorative comment coming from Stevie Y SK, our good friend Steven. We know his name's not Steven, but he loves Stevie Y. We love Eiserman here in the channel. So Steven says, just one idea I would like to explore a little bit. We all remember the draft when we took Valachevitz first overall. So we've been considering also moving Valachevitz. As good as he's been, we were considering trading him, the former first overall pick, because he hasn't quite been living up to that first overall pick pedigree. He had a huge postseason to help us win the Stanley Cup, so that's going to be helping him to stay around. But Steven says, I checked back on that draft from Valachevitz, and Nashville took, with their 4th pick, a player named Tanev, who now plays on their second line. He seems to be quite a prolific sniper, as we could see in the video. I'll have to pull up his numbers in just a moment. The best thing about Tanev is his nationality, as he is Hungarian. I'm not saying we need to trade for him ASAP, but we should check out what kind of contract he has and keep him in mind if we run into trouble with the nationalities. So if we pull up Tanev, hold on a second, Red, we're going through the comments from the last one. If I pull up Tanev here, the centerman on the Nashville Predators, is it Sheldon Tanev? Yes, it is. Sheldon Tanev, 87 overall. He was the 4th overall pick in that 2030 draft. And we look at his numbers. He was a 48-goal scorer this year, 77 points. 3rd year in the NHL. He's been improving each year. Is he better than Valachevitz? I wouldn't necessarily say so, but he is a more prolific goal scorer, and he has the nationality as a Hungarian player, which is huge. He's an expiring RFA, so I'm sure he's going to be getting some sort of contract. I wonder if the Predators don't have money and I put him on the block or something. So we'll keep that in mind when we enter the draft. Sheldon Tanev, we'll put it, if we're not going to be trading for him, we can at least put his name on our radar to consider moving forward, especially if we're going to be thinking about who's going to replace Cole Perfetti, let's say, in 4 or 5 years from now. So thank you for that comment. Next comment coming in from Gen Z McKenzie, who said, for re-signings, I think you should re-sign Nesterov to a 3 or 4 year deal at 85%. Yup. Mann, Nabokov, Malkin, Barlow, all those expiring unsigned guys should be signed as well. If you look at the expiring, all these guys down here. For trades, I think you should trade Boldzuk during the draft to free up money, as well as Blumdahl, Bishop, and one of Brulé or Huberdeau, one of our goalie prospects. We have just too many goalie prospects who are not, well, too many. We have 2 who neither of them look great, and Huberdeau, of the 2 of them, that looks a bit worse. So I'll probably go Brulé to start next year in the AHL and trade Huberdeau. So that's excess value. Another player who gives us excess value is probably Esa Blumdahl. Esa Blumdahl, great prospect, but he's 80 overall at 23. We're not giving him the room that he needs to grow. 38 points this past season, 67 points in 164 games in his career, plus 16, only able to average 943 in his career, even giving him power play time. The majority of his points come from there. The problem is, he's never going to get past McIntyre, Perfetti, or Emelin. Like Vyacheslav Emelin, this guy, at his $2 million deal for the next 4 years, or 3 years after this one, I should say, as it expires, he's a 40, 50-point guy. There's no way he's losing the third-line center role permanently to Esa Blumdahl. So as much as we have enjoyed Esa Blumdahl and think that he could be great moving forward, it would probably make more sense to give Langkow 4th-line center and just move on from Blumdahl, use his trade value, and allow him to thrive on another team. As much as that would be unfortunate and sad, it probably makes the most sense for everyone involved. Moving on in Gen Z McKenzie's comment, for the draft, we have picks 33, 66, 67, 92, blah, 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 a ton of picks. And Gen Z McKenzie highlighting some players we should be going after. I watch listed all of them, so we'll see them in a moment when we get to the draft. And now, when it comes to our lines for next season, if we go ahead and look at forwards first. The first line could be some sort of mix of Lafreniere, McIntyre, Valachevitz. Second line, Lucic, Perfetti, and Rask. We can't forget about Rickard Rask, 84 overall, 22 years of age. He was the 7th overall pick from the Blue Jackets in 2029. He played 77 games, scored 47 points. Not as much ice time as we would have liked, but this should be a middle 6, top 6 season for Rickard Rask. Got to make sure that he gets his ice time listed as a second line forward. Third line would be Nesterov, Stenberg, and Nazar. I forgot about Nazar even in the center depth. So another reason why Blumdahl wouldn't have any space. And the fourth line is Langkow, Emelin, and Ferguson. As much as it would hurt to see Emelin on the fourth line, that might be his spot. And Ferguson down in the AHL, right here, 78 overall, Willie Ferguson, two-way forward, former second-round pick. He could make the jump to the NHL. But even then, Nabokov, Olvecki, Lombardi. Olvecki's probably a guy that we trade. As much as we love his 94 passing, he would be super useful. There's just no room for him. There's just no room for him. He's great in the AHL, 5 points in 15 games in the NHL, in a fourth line role. I don't know. If he could play third line, I bet he'd be good. But there's just no room. The problem with profits. Profit problems, I'm telling you. On defense, it would look like Hudson and Sider, Eriksson and Ramirez, and Ylonen and Mann, with Depthy being a free agent, goaltending Mikkola and Zherdev. Zherdev, of course, winning the winger from the OHL. We haven't looked at the draft yet. There's a lot of wingers in the OHL. We're loaded, Hobbsy. Depth goalie, maybe whoever didn't get traded between Brule and Huberdeau. Yes. So Mikkola coming off of the Jennings Trophy this past year, 89 overall. He's on a solid extension. He was signed for 9.175. We got him for 7.95 for the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seasons. 6 by 7.95. So that's great news for Juha Mikkola. It's super rare that we have a goalie that lasts the entire series. If we can go the entire series with Juha Mikkola, I think he'd be the first one since Peyton Wilm in our Seattle Kraken series in NHL 22. So that's really saying something. So those are Jenzy McKenzie's thoughts. I like those very much. When we go over to Cheating Heel's thoughts, Cheating Heel says, you just love to see this. What a run. Lucic and Stenberg deserve extra minutes. If we go back and look at the performances from the postseason quickly, of course, Avery McIntyre won the Conn Smythe with his 33 points. The captain led the way. I genuinely did not remember Ferguson being on the team until I saw him at the end of last episode. Me too, Jenzy. Great call on Willie Ferguson. Cole Perfetti had 30 points, all in 23 games, of course. Valachevitz, 15 goals and 27 points. He led the team in goal scoring. If you can do that this season, that would be exactly what the doctor ordered. Skylar Lucic, 25 points in 23 games. Incredible. Otto Stenberg, point per game. So Lucic and Stenberg, we'd want them both in the top 6. It'll be hard to make it work, but as Jenzy McKenzie says as Cheating Heel says in a moment, there's a line combination that I think could work. Lafreniere 22, Emelin 16, and down the list we go for the rest of the team scoring, if you're interested in seeing that. So moving on to the comment here, I might be tempted to try to put them on line 1 with a playmaker like Perfetti next year and have Laffy, McIntyre, and Valachevitz on line 2, since McIntyre has often had killer production on that second line. So a first line, it would be Perfetti, Lucic, and Stenberg on the first line, McIntyre, Perfetti, Valachevitz on the second line. So Stenberg, Lucic, and Lafreniere on the first... Sorry, my apologies. It would be Lucic, Stenberg, and Perfetti on the first line, McIntyre, Valachevitz, and Lafreniere on the second line. Hobbsy says Valachevitz was potentially a trade piece, if I remember correctly, but he had a solid playoffs. Yeah, that's the thing. I think Valachevitz, 5 game-winning goals, 15 goals in 23 games. I think he's good to stay at least for this next season. That being said, now, other option would be Val with McIntyre and Perfetti on line 1, and then Lafreniere, Stenberg, and Lucic on line 2. I would keep Nazar as third-line center who can get into the top 6 if we have injuries, and he has a decent contract. One player, and here's a comment from Dice actually coming in, I'm a little concerned about Lucic on line 1 as he scored 25 points but was a -1 in the playoffs. Be cautious. Good point. In his career, let's see, he was a +1 this year, +15 the year before. He was a +7 in 240 NHL games. I think that's a valid concern. 3-star defense, 73 shot blocking, 78 stick checking. That's a good point, and that may keep him at second line max for his entire career. But we'll see once we get to experimentation time. Moving on in Cheating Heel's comment, one player I might look at moving if we need cap space would be Moritz Seider, making $8 million now at 33, I believe. Let's just pull his numbers up quickly. Seider, our chief of security, big free agent fish who we had signed years ago now in the 2029 offseason. He's been here for 5 full seasons in Starfleet. Mid-20 point guy, coming off of a +30 season, which is great, and he does eat a lot of minutes, averaging somewhere in that 23-minute range through his 5 years with us here in Starfleet. So Cheating Heel says his offensive production is quite low and he looks quite bad in the slow sim. That's true. The slow sim, he's been horrible. He gives out the puck. He's had bad coverage, etc., etc. We already have Ludvig Eriksson as our all-star defensive defenseman, so I'm not sure if we need Seider, and we can most likely replace him with a cheaper option. I'd probably keep Bolduc over Seider because of the money, just because of that. Hold on a second, Red. Hold on a second. We're not at the draft yet. We still have to figure out our game plan for the offseason. I'd explore the trade blocks and see if there's a good D-man on a friendlier contract and younger than Seider for whom we could trade him. So that's the thing. I'm not really saying I would shop Moritz Seider, but if there were, in theory, a younger option making less money and putting up better offensive numbers with the right nationality, I would consider it. I wouldn't say he's the number one trade candidate, as his nationality being German. He's a right side first pair guy. He allows Cole Hudson to score his 70 points. As much as Ludvig Eriksson could also do that, but then the question is who plays on the second pair. There you go. This team still has what it needs to be contenders for years. Our biggest enemy right now is cap space. Let's run it back. Go Fleet. How many years left does Seider have, says Jenzy McKenzie? 3 more years on that $8 million deal. Good old Apple Cider. So there are a lot of replies to this one, actually. There's like 6 replies to this one. Essentially, my reply to Cheating Heel had said, I like the lineup. Good point on Cider. If moving him doesn't work out, and we're between Ramirez and Bolduc, who are we thinking? Cheating Heel said, if we keep Cider and have to move one of the other two, I'd probably move Ramirez. We benched him for most of a full season, and Bolduc was the missing piece on defense and really locked things down. Jenzy McKenzie follows up by saying, that was 2 seasons ago. Last season, Ramirez rebounded and was better than Bolduc. Ramirez is younger, cheaper, and had more ice time than Bolduc. Bolduc would want a top 4 spot somewhere due to his salary, but he didn't get that last season. It makes neutral sense for Bolduc to be the one to be traded. And I can also see that argument being, hey, he won his Stanley Cup, now we can move on. We could look at Cider offers, but I don't think moving him is a top priority, says Hobbsy. I think I can agree with that. And then Jenzy McKenzie follows up by saying, I get that it was 2 years ago, but it still did. Nothing tells us that it won't happen again. Sorry, Cheating Heel followed up to Jenzy McKenzie's comment saying, I get that it was 2 years ago, but it could happen again. And I think Bolduc brings better defending than Ramirez, and it helps our penalty kill a lot. Ramirez also has higher trade value, so he would fetch a better return. It would also be easier to replace him in a trade by getting a better player without having to give extra value. Also, he's American, so he already can't play with Hudson. Trading him, even if it's for another American, would give us more flexibility, while trading either of Cider or Bolduc means we most likely have to pass on any American D-man as a return, as we then have 3, which means 1 per pair, and that hurts our ability with injuries, blah, blah, blah. All of this also needs to be taken into consideration, hence why I'd probably trade Ramirez over Bolduc. Bolduc probably will end up getting traded in a year or so anyways, if we're lucky and he doesn't regress too much. Maybe he runs out of his contract in 2 years and we don't re-sign him, so Ramirez could end up staying longer, but we get only maybe 2 extra years of Ramirez. So is it worth not trading him just for 2 years more? So 2 years of Bolduc versus 4 years of Ramirez is what Cheating Heel is saying. Is it so much better to say 2 extra years of Ramirez? I still feel like moving Ramirez over Bolduc is the way to go. So who says we move either of them necessarily? But that's the way things left off in the comments from the AGM. So a bit of a longer one opening in this one. Even David Pastrnak. We're not even talking about Pastrnak. He's been great, but we got to let him go. Bottom 6 potential, 38 years of age. He came to Starfleet. He got his Stanley Cup, 2 years in San Francisco. Thank you for your service, David, but we're going to have to let you walk at this point. That's one more guy we're guaranteed letting go. And then last comment, last one, it was in the Discord server. I remember seeing it. Yeah, Doggy said, great run. Now I think we need to say goodbye to Bolduc due to him making way too much money. Nestrov should be re-signed and let him grow as much as he can before the infamous 26-year-old drop-off with potential. Chad Quint is very interesting, who would be at 33rd overall if we pull up the draft class now. The top 4D in the hundreds is, I'll show you who's pinned in a moment. There's a top 4D in the 100s who's interesting. Ramirez, unfortunately, removed from alternate captain for the Kings. Skylar Lucic also says Doggy. Otherwise, that's all I got to say. Good luck, Starfleet. There you go. Thank you very much, Doggy. So, let me pull that up. What's this? I thought it was another gold medal alert from Canada. Okay. Great. The Gamer. I'm just watching on my PC, working on one of my friends' Discord server. Perfect. That's exactly what you want to be doing when you're listening to some franchise mode. Pasta could be paired with a pick for a trade up. Yeah, absolutely. We could still get some value out of him. Alrighty, so when we look at the draft itself, Jenzy McKenzie had suggested moving up for Nicholas Halvorsen. I forgot he was projected first overall pick. Let's clear house for him so we can hear Data say his name. Yeah, let's clear house for Alexandre Gervais-Chouinard from the Voltigeurs de Drummondville. Gervais-Chouinard! We can call his name for years to come. Do we clear house for him? Medium franchise, NHL ready, similar to Milan Lucic, 6'4" power forward. 44 goals and 126 points in the QMJHL. That would be something, right? Trade up for Hancock. I'm not a Canadian winger. I'm not sure where he'd go, unfortunately. He's 1 year away. 50 goals, which is incredible. 101 points, 70 in 70 games. I'm just not sure where winger... The wings are pretty full right now. I'm not sure where Josiah Hancock would go. I think if we're making a trade up, it would probably be for a defenseman. I'm not sure if we have much in our system defensively. Ooh, do we get more Quebec name pronunciations tonight? Yeah, those were pretty good, eh? I ran through the entire draft board of the QMJHL, just going through the names one at a time, and that was a good laugh. That was a good laugh. Always fun to put the pronunciation into it. So when you think about defensemen, 21-year-old guys, 19-year-old guys, medium top 6, low top 4, medium top 4, low elite. Some of these guys could make it. I think we do have some defensemen in our system. It's not like there's nobody there. No one who's close to making the jump, I would say. Like, I'd say anyone in this range who's making the jump is still a couple of years away. And this guy, Halvorsen, is how far away? Our scouts have him at 10, even though Central Scouting has him at 7. He's 3 years away, medium top 4. I don't know if he really stands out that much in our system. We have other guys who are medium top 4, low top 4. I don't know. Ference will get signed. We'll look at that after the draft. But at the moment, we're thinking about possible trade-ups. So, that being said, Halvorsen, anyone else who really stands out to us? We said Tuomo Puka is also 3 years away. Konopka. Alexandre Gervais-Chouinard, AGC. So yeah, our late first probably gets traded down, I would think, unless, well, it gets traded up or down. It gets traded, I would think. Medium top 6, Walker Daly. 3-bar medium elite, Edwin Wheel. Who'd you say, Wheeler? Halvorsen not having Hjalmarsson player type is criminal. I was actually just thinking about Hjalmarsson. We had said maybe Chad Quint. 1 year away, which is interesting. Who was Wheeler? Yeah, well, pick Wheeler. It's easy to say pick Wheeler. I don't know if we can just pick all these. Pick the guy #1 medium franchise. It's going to take a boatload of trade value. The interviews are too late to actually dice. I'm sorry. We can't interview anybody. Virtanen, similar to Dan Hamius. Not every day do you see Dan Hamius' name in the draft class. That being said, we have some pin players. Actually, if we just look at all the pin players first. So, Endress would be Marco Endress, 3 years away, medium top 6, 6'4" power forward. Jonathan Stoner, 3-bar medium elite gem. Filppula at 105, medium elite, probably 5 years away. Yep, we'll definitely get value out of him. Kiprasov, low elite, will get him, and Hendry will also get him. So guaranteed, we're getting these two defensemen, lefty, righty, and we're also going to be we'll get the center for sure. Would it be easier to get AGC by trading for first or trading for him after it would be actually, I think it would probably be easier to trade for the first. Both would be almost impossible. But trading for a franchise potential player is almost impossible. That would be even harder than trading for the first overall pick. So the players that we're targeting. Those are the players that we're targeting. But it's more of a draft type of more of a trade draft than a draft. I honestly don't know if we have the value for AGC, but we can hypothesize for a minute on what it'd take. Yeah, we could, absolutely. So that being said, let's get the draft started, ladies and gentlemen, and see which picks are available, if any. Let's see it. Come on. No, none of the top 3 up for grabs. Oh, no, that's too bad. None of the first pick on the trade block, whoa, is pick 24. Whoa. So yeah, any trade, it would probably have to include Sider. So if we go to the New York Islanders, who are probably sellers, right? Yeah, they're sellers. If I went to the Islanders and said, all right, I'd probably have to throw Valentine. You want Moritz Seider. I'd say here's Seider. I'd have to throw in a prospect. Here's Kopecky, medium elite. Excuse me. Medium elite, Lubomir Kopecky. I'd have to throw in... One isn't... Yeah, it's not even worth the AI hassle, but just to hypothesize. We'd throw in Blumdahl. We'd throw in our first, and how close does that get it? Well, on paper, it's very close, but... Actually, it's way in our favor, but would they actually do this? I highly doubt it. Who do they have on defense? Yeah, they have nobody. Dobson and Seider would be. But this team doesn't need Moritz Seider. Actually, they have some good forwards. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's their top 6. The Islanders don't need... The Islanders need Gervais Chouinard. If anyone needs Gervais Chouinard, it's the Islanders. So it wouldn't make sense not only to trade for him, but in this package, it wouldn't make sense for the Islanders to do that trade. So I'm going to have to, unfortunately, hold back from doing that one. Let's see Gervais Chouinard's attributes here, as the first overall pick will be to the Islanders. 83 overall, medium franchise. 93, 92 shooting accuracies, 5-star shooting, 4-star skating, 3.5-star everything else. Wow. 88 body checking, 85 strength at 18 years of age, 6'4", 205 pounds. Alexandre Gervais Chouinard, bienvenue chez les Islanders de New York. Wow. So second pick likely goes Wheeler. Offensive defenseman Ernesto Wheeler. Left D would be great to have on board. I'd love to have a lefty offensive D who could maybe go with, could be the future, like a 1-2 punch in Hudson and Wheeler. But again, it doesn't make sense for the team to do that trade. If you look at the Penguins, they are sellers. They're even way below the salary cap. They have nobody in this team. Woo, they have nobody here. They need a guy like Wheeler to join their forward core. Wouldn't make sense to give them a Moritz Seider at this point in time. So again, we'll sim through that pick. And well, he's a defenseman, Wheeler is. 79 overall, medium elite. Ernesto Wheeler. Yeah, looks solid. About a year away, probably. I don't know if... Well, could make the NHL right away. Anyways, so if we're just interested in finding a trade, if we look at what is out there from Moritz Seider, I bet there's going to be 0 trade offers even found. And yeah, that's exactly the case. What about Kopecky? You throw Kopecky in there. 1 trade, 2 seconds from the Kraken. What a joke. Fantastic. Thank you, Gamer. Gamer says he's going to be joining the Discord server. That link, as always, is in the description. Almost 700 members in our Discord server. Always talking hockey, franchise modes, sports. It's a great time in there. The community is just outstanding. How about Essa Blumdahl? Blumdahl, yeah. He's going to get a bunch of second, third packages and stuff like that. So, in the end, we'd have to be making trades ourselves. We have to make trades ourselves. Okay? The Kraken take Baker, medium elite. The Canucks take Leach, medium elite, 76. Then the Coyotes take Pressburg, 80 overall, medium elite with their 5th pick. No surprise, right? Yeah, everyone's all the same here. So let's see, do the Hurricanes take Halverson? No, they take Hancock. So if we wanted to really trade for Halverson with the 7th overall pick, the Sharks are conservative buyers, but again, I don't think it makes sense to trade for all that value, and he's just a medium top 4D who's 1 year away. So let's see what he was. Halverson, yeah. Thank goodness we didn't trade for him. I bet he'll be fine, but you can get value like this later in the draft. I'm not saying in the 5th round, but you can get value like this in the 2nd round, absolutely. Nicholas Halverson, 64 overall, medium top 4D. Sharks poverty strikes again, eh? Yikes, that's just a joke for the Discord server. Nicholas, so not a bad selection, but watch, I bet these next guys are going to be even better. Okay, medium top 4, 64. Top 6, I meant to say. No, probably the best of the rest. That guy was a 75 overall grinder. Bemstrom was a 69 overall. High top 6 to the Blackhawks. Yikes. Pick 15, Anderson. Yeah, not the greatest draft class, it seems like. Anyways, so if there's anyone else to trade up for, maybe Konopka, 3 years away at 17, but I think it's probably a trade down kind of year. I think it's a trade down kind of year. So let's sim to our pick at pick 33, the end of round 1. Really nothing that stands out to me at all. Kasperitis, legend. Yeah, not a great draft. That's why I said it's more of a trade draft. Too bad none of the first 24 picks were on the block. Yeah, for real. Knop, good. Medium top 4, medium top 4, medium top 6, top 6. Low elite. So Quint was low elite. If there was anyone to take it, probably would have been him. There you go. Exactly. Answering the question for you there, Hobbsy. Chad Quint, 88 on the shooting accuracies. Wow. So if we had him more uncovered, maybe we would have gone after him. But honestly, a 2-bar low elite is a bit too much of a risk. It probably wouldn't have cost a ton. We could have done it. We could have done it. But at the same time, I wasn't sold on the risk ratio there. Then medium top 9s to end off the round. Yikes. All medium top 9s. 1 low elite. Medium top 9s again. Ouch. Okay, so let's try to concoct a little trade here. Where's the next guy that we even want here at 33 overall? Yeah, there you go. Hobbsy reading my mind out here. Just called the timeout. If there was anyone I would trade for, first idea would be Walker Daly. And even then, another American, 1 year away, which is good, but another American in the system, I don't know. Wheel as well, Edwin Wheel, 3-bar medium elite, 3 years away, similar to Jeff Carter. Medium top 6, Enders probably makes the most sense. Yeah, you read my mind again there, Mark. The German probably makes the most sense for the nationality and for the potential. Medium top 6. Mind readers out here. 3 years away, no problem. 6'4", 208. So if we trade down for the early 40s, that's 33. 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43. Too risky. So we'll trade for the Sharks pick. Yeah. We'll trade down from 33 to 40, and I'll give you some value. I don't know if I want to trade Pasternak to the Sharks, for example. Division. Within the division, I don't know. So I'll trade you 33. What else can I give you? I don't want to really give the Sharks anything. Maybe let's advance to the Sharks pick and see who's available by 40 and see if the trajectory... I need to trade this pick. I need to trade this pick. What am I saying? Advance. The Sharks. Unless we trade with the Lightning, but then it's me harder to get value. 33 for 40. And yeah, let's just grab a pick then. Let's just do a straight up grab a pick. 33 for 40 and another one. I don't know. What can I get? 106? Can I get 106 here, San Jose? No, you're quite far off. Of course I am. Other way around, I have to give another second to move up. Second and a fifth, quite far off, of course. Sorry to offend. 2 6. Now this is gonna make them angry. Yeah, 2 6ths. 1 6th. You know, what a joke. I'll give you. Here's what I'm gonna do. There's not a lot in this draft. Here are 2 7ths. My first and 2 7ths. Now can I get a 4th? There we go. Perfect. So essentially, just getting dump the 2 7ths and get a 4th out of it instead of having to take a 6th or a 7th. I get a 4th and dump 2 7ths. I didn't even need to use them anyways. Okay. So the Sharks get that pick, and at 33, let's see who they took. At 33, they took a medium top 6D. Beautiful. Okay, so let's sim to pick 40. Low elite just went. Medium top 9s, top 6D, top 9 forward. Ouch. Low elite goes there to the Capitals. At pick 40, we're not going to play around too much. Maybe we could have played around to 40. It would have been risky to go to 43 or 44. So Marco Endres from the DEL, the Straubing Tigers of the DEL. Welcome to Starfleet, Bello. You are 65 overall, medium top 6. Better than half of the first round prospects. 6'4", 208, low physical for some reason, 2-star, but 3-star shooting. Number 87, how about that? And we'll see what comes of his career. Next pick is going to be at 66. Now, do we want that selection? Probably not. Do we? I don't know. Who do we want between now and 66? Who's this? Spezza? Jalen Spezza. A couple of 3-bar low elites. Robert Rensfeldt and Alex Rowe. I don't know. There's a low top 6, Isaac Coupland. Low elite, Elliot Brody, 3 bars. We have 66 and 67, so we could trade up for one of them. We need, any nationality works. I don't want to think about, McIntyre and Nazar. Like, these guys are 5 years away from making the NHL. Spezza for the name alone. That's what we did for the Italian, Khalil Funk. Zachary Moore. 3 years away, similar to Shea Weber. This guy's actually interesting to me. Zachary Moore, 17-year-old defensive defenseman, 3-bar medium top 4. 3 years away, similar to Shea Weber. For 17, he's probably a... But the thing is, he could be medium top 6 potential, and that would be a devastation. Do we try to go for Robert Rensfeldt? 6'2", 3-bar low elite? Or just like a guaranteed an Isaac Coupland? Or none of them. And just keep going until the next player who we actually want, who would be Stoner at 99. 5 years away. All these guys 5 years away. We have a good number of picks here. We should make some trades. Because we don't need to trade Ramirez or Boldzuk right now. If we need to do it, we'll do it on July 1st. We don't need to trade them right now. Pastrnak can a pick. We can get a 3-bar low elite at 67. We could. We could. So why trade up for 1? Yeah, I hear what you're saying. All right, let's send to pick 66 then. Let's do it. Medium top 9, low top 4D, low top 6. Coupland was low top 6. Yeah, we knew that. Rowe was low top 6. Rensfeldt was low elite, 61 overall. But hopefully we can get a low elite right now with one of our selections. Low top 6, low top 4. Yeah, pretty much what we expected. Spezza was medium top 9. Medium elite goalie goes to the Vegas Golden Knights. Okay, so we want to make our pick at 66. We could just take our guy here, Elliot Brody, and then trade the 3rd. Or do we trade the 2nd and then keep the 3rd and get Brody? Yeah, Rensfeldt went to a good place. If we can trust the AI to take Nikitin, we could just straight up trade the 2nd round pick with Pastrnak for like a 2nd round pick next year, maybe. That wouldn't be a bad idea. Or I just not play around and take Brody. Yeah, okay, let's not play around. Okay, alright, Gen Z. Elliot Brody from the OHL, the Kitchener Rangers of the OHL. To end off round 2, then we'll begin round 3. Elliot Brody, hopefully at least low top 6. Yeah, okay. 60 overall, low top 6. Not the greatest, but we can swallow that. So now if I want to find a trade for our 3rd, for pick 67. Who wants pick 67? Let's just find an Eastern Conference team who wants it first. Who's offering a 3rd next year? The Hurricanes. Let's do that. The Hurricanes want a 3rd right now for a 3rd and a 5th. If I throw in the rights to David Pastrnak... Where are you, David? All the way at the bottom. I throw in David Pastrnak. Can I turn that 5th into a 4th? Next year. What picks do we even have next year? Next year we have a 1st, a 2nd, a 3rd. We have nothing. We have only our own picks next year. So if you even threw in a 6th and made it 2/3, because they have Washingtons, I noticed that. They also have some good players on the block. Good catch from Hobbsy. Kakanyemi, Jarvis, Aho, Natchez, Newhook. Some good players, but very expensive ones. That's the issue. Natchez 12.3, Aho 11.4, and they're aging. Jarvis at 6.185 would make the most sense. 59 points last year, 50 the year before. Yeesh. Tough plus minus. No, sorry, Seth. And Jesperi, 4th line Kakanyemi. No. Good idea to look, though. Carolina, what do you say? 2/3? All right, 2/3. We'll take it. So 2/3 for a 3rd this year and Pastrnak and a 6th. So swapping 3rds. So Pastrnak and a 6th for a 3rd, and we swap for next season. That gives us now 3/3 in next year's draft, which will allow for more maneuverability. We still have like 3 picks in the 90s as well coming up. The Hurricanes get that pick, and they select Nikitin, who is medium top 9. Jarvis would be the only one there, but those numbers aren't great. Agreed. So our next guys would be in the 90s. Anyone we trade up for in the 90s? I don't think there's anybody, really. Medium starter, Kolnick. No. 2-bar high elite goal. We have almost no goalies in our system. Do we take a risk on a 19-year-old? He's 5 years away. Rickard Coco. Jean Drouin de Laurier. 4 years away at 19. Hey, salut Jean! Salut Jean Drouin de Laurier! Fais l'arrête, okay? I don't know. Or to go for the 3-bar medium elite. Oh, we'll definitely get Stoner. You know, we have 3/3. Let's use one of them on a goalie, and let's just see what happens, all right? We have a bunch. Let's sim to pick 92 and see if they're there. Let's see. Cronwall. Hey, another Cronwall goes to the Red Wings. We have almost no goalie prospects in our system. Coco. Ah, he was high elite! No, Coco! Coco the monkey was high elite. High elite. But he is 19 and 60 overall, but still, high elite is high elite. Coco the monkey. Kolnick, meanwhile, is medium starter, 48 overall. Sheesh. At 92, do we go Drouin Delaurier? Yeah, I'm gonna say let's do it. Drouin, come on, Drouin! Medium elite, we'll take it. Not the Cocoa Puffs. 59 overall, medium elite. We'll take it. He could just turn out like Huberdeau and Brûlé, who are also medium elite and never panned out. But at the very, very least, it is trade value. And another great French name in the system. Jean Drouin Delaurier, bienvenue à l'équipe, mon ami. J'aime ton nom et j'espère que tu peux être un joueur sur l'équipe de NH un jour. Pick 97 if we jump ahead to there. Low top 4, medium top 6, Zico Manus, medium starter. So at pick 97, is this where we take our guy? Yeah, we'll take Stoner here at pick 97. Don't want to risk anything. 3-bar medium elite, so hopefully he's at least low top 4D. Jonathan Stoner. Hey, he is medium elite. Let's go. Medium elite, 60 overall. 18 years of age, so he's not 19. And he was he Norwegian? I think he was Norwegian. Stoner, cool. And then pick 99, one pick later. Rene was medium elite. Pick 99. Do we like anyone at 99, or do we also trade this selection? And by the way, Pasternak, thanks for all your service. Good luck in Carolina. Do we trade down for Filppula at 105, or just take him? High hopes for Stoner. Let's go. Slim's new favorite player. Can we trade down a few picks, or is that just... That's 99, 100, 101, 102, 103. The AI probably won't do this. Maybe we can swap 7ths next year. The Islanders are one of the worst teams. If we can swap 7ths, I'll do it. Because technically it's a 3rd for a 4th and a 7th. Islanders, rejected. What if you swap 7ths next year? Your 7th will be higher. So why not? We swap 7ths in 2035. Trade, bang. Okay, great. Pick 103. And Roth, Kuznetsov, and at 103 we'll take our guy, Filppula, Matti Filppula from Liga, I believe. Medium elite, 51 overall, 19 years of age. There we go. Next pick, wow, it's right there, 106. I didn't even notice. 106, it's right there. Do we trade this one as well? Probably. Some 2-bar low elite guys at this point, but I don't think I would take any of them. Next pick, medium top, Hendry, the Croatian, at 135. We'll trade down for Hendry. So 106. We can even trade, what do you say? It was in the 130s? That first pick is 133. If we go to the first pick of the 5th round for sorry. No, actually I don't need a timeout. I can do it. Where was Hendry again? 130 what? 135. So 133 should be fine. Trade for the Devils pick. Actually, the Penguins pick. The Devils hold. So I'll give you 106. Let's try to make it... And one of the 3rds we acquired, we've got Toronto's 3rd. 106 and a 3rd next year. So a 3rd and a 4th for a 2nd and a 5th. How about that? Would that be crazy? A 3rd and a 4th for a 2nd and a 5th? Probably, eh? Let's see what happened. Rejected. Do I want to swap 3rds next year? Swap 3rds next year and you throw in a 6th? A 3rd and a 4th for a 3rd, a 5th, and a 6th. A 3rd and a 4th for a 3rd, a 5th, and a 7th. Can we do that? No. Then it doesn't really make sense then. So let's just not go crazy. So if 106 for 133, and I'll take back a 6th next year if you would be so kind. No, of course, value too far off for my thinking. Throw the 7th in. What am I thinking again? Okay, this is where I'll throw in a goalie prospect to make this work then. And you want these guys. Great, so we're going to trade Huberdeau. Sylvain Huberdeau, who we drafted 2nd round. Yikes. Tough ROI. 2nd round pick Just hasn't been great form in the AHL. Some years yes, some years no, but no growth. That's the issue. Keeping an eye on the clock at the same time. Just zero growth. Zero growth. So a fourth and immediately goalie prospect for a fifth and a third next year. Can we do that? Maybe even more. Could I squeeze that second next year now? Hey, we could. Nice. A second round pick for that. Okay, nice. Huberdeau, bonne chance à New Jersey. Au New Jersey, là. So now we have that fifth here. So now next year's draft, we have a first, 2 seconds, and 3/3. Wonderful. And the Devils with this selection get a low top 6D. All right, at pick 133, that was a tidy little piece of business there. At pick 133, we'll take the Croatian defender, Rohan Hendry, offensive defenseman playing in the DEL. The scouts in the DEL works hard this year. He is 49 overall, medium top 4D. That works value-wise. Yeah, traded away a failed second rounder for another crack. There you go. I believe in Rohan Hendry. Let's go. Don't mess with the Rohan. Rohan Hendry. That leaves us with just one more pick at 165, and I think there's just one more player who we have pinned, if I'm not mistaken. Could it be? Yeah, there you go, Kiprusoff at 156, and we pick at 165, so we would have to trade up if we want to take him. We could probably trade for some we could use some contracts, some expiring contracts. We want 156. We go 152 from the Avalanche. I'm going to go a little bit later. 152, 153, 154. Okay, let's go here. Give me Wakabayashi growth. I want him in the NHL ASAP. I hear you. Okay, so I'll give you 165. And who's an expiring contract I can talk? Arbor Jackai's rights, who we're not going to be re-signing. The rights to Arbor Jackai and to move up, 11 selections? There you go. Perfect. We're going to let him walk anyways. That's exactly what we needed to do. Tidy piece of business once again. And we'll pick 154. We'll go ahead and select him. Not Mikko Kiprusoff, but Nico Kiprusoff from the Kukukovola of Liga. 6'4", low elite defenseman, 62 overall. Not bad for a late round low elite. He is 19 though, but still. We'll take it. Nico Kiprusoff, welcome to the team. And that does it, ladies and gentlemen, for this one. Starfleet should target Demidov. If we sort by potential, there's no one else who we'd really want to take a crack at. Medium starter, Appleby. GM data is the best in the league. There's not much else to say. Hey, you flatter me, Hobbsy. Let me grab a sip here while we end off the draft. All right, we'll call it a success. Endris Brody, Drouin de Laurier, Stoner, Filppula, Hendry, and Kiprusoff. And we trade out Pastrnak, we trade out Huberdeau, we trade out Jackai. We gain draft picks next year. Yeah, we'll take that every time. Ryan Goalie needs his new contract as head coach. We love Ryan Goalie. So can I squeeze you to 8 years? You only want 4.5. How about 4.75, big boy? Meanwhile, our associate coach makes more than that. Makes what, 9 point something? 9.9 to be associate as an A+, that's why. Machovsky. I'll make you AHL assistant. There's a nice little promotion for you. Patrick Machovsky. Nice 700K. Enjoy. Feed the family. Oof, a lot of scouts need to be re-signed. Okay. I'll be very curious to see what the players who need contracts like Nestrov are asking for now after the draft. Worst case, we qualify and make a trade on July 1st. But I'm really hoping we can keep everybody. Profit problems, I'm telling you. I don't know how those Ferengis do it. The rules of acquisition must be followed to a T. Let's do this. 215. Tilda Alfredson? What a name. Vyakesla Novotseltsev. Sorry, you wanted 2 years. What was it? Sorry, 2 years? Yeah, 2 years. Quite a name there. Tiny Morgan, legend. And Ariana Sampson. And that's it. Great. Okay. Let's break out the calculator now. Here we go. Calculator out. Calculator out. Great. Here we go. All expiring. Data Brown's all the Russian names when? Shee! That's going to be a tough one. Oh, so Nesterov is a UFA, so we do need to sign him. He's not an RFA. We can't just qualify and hope for the best. He wants 4.02 for 2 years. Yeah. That was a mistake on my part right there. Unless we buy somebody out. Buy outsider. 2.667 for 6 years. No. A little bit landed, no problem. Vyashulslav, is that what it is? Oh, without the V, I see. I gotta work on the pronunciations. Okay. Worst case, we have to sign him in free agency. But I do really want to keep Nesterov. Okay, Michael Bishop is going to be trade bait. Qualify and goodbye. Thank you for your service here in Starfleet. Did well. He did well. I don't know why it's always the Flames logo there. 10 points in 40 games in the NHL. 68 points in 77 games in the AHL. He was on pace for a 20-some point season as just a pure fourth liner. At playoffs, 6 goals, 9 points in the playoffs. He was great. Just no room for him unless now Blumdahl's going to be gone as well. Qualify for now. Nabokov, yeah, these guys all want 1.2, so I'll qualify, everybody probably. Yeah. We really are strapped for cash, aren't we? Yes. Qualify. Kavanaugh, low elite. He was a first-round pick in 2032. I'm very excited to get him into the system. 31 goals and 83 points in 67 games. I like Vyacheslav Kozlov from the Thrashers, of course. Our NHL 7 Thrashers series. We're not done yet. Jesus Morales 1.2. Hey, everyone wants 1.2. Qualify. Alexei, we're going to let him walk. Did we draft this guy? No. Daryl Alexei will let him walk. Release him. Renz. Lucas Renz, third-round pick. With low elite potential. Artyukin, fifth-round pick. Low elite potential. Yeah, welcome to the team. Zaitsev, 7th-round pick, 222nd overall. Here he is, low elite potential. It's his only chance to do something. He'll get his ELC. Goalies. Yeah, Zeeler needs his contract as well. Bryson Zeeler, 3rd-round pick. NHL, yeah, we could do live. NHL 7 live could be... We could make that one of the live stream nights. NHL 7, just to get through the series. So the tandem would be Brule and Zeeler, most likely, in the AHL next season. Okay. That's just about it, eh? Oh, no, I didn't look at the... Oh, yeah, there's a lot of UFAs left still. Boumdienne. Maurice Boumdienne. I like his numbers. Low top 4D. But he wants to be in the NHL. So, gotta release him. Bye-bye. Rita. Jaden Rita. 2nd-round pick. Get him on board. And Ferentz, of course. Jeremy Ferentz, 5th-round pick. 86 shot blocking. That's good. Sign him. RFAs. Why did it show some and not others? I don't know. Eddie Barlow? Yeah, Eddie Barlow. 3rd-round pick of the Blackhawks. 49 points on the year. Let me guess. He wants NHL numbers, right? Yeah. I could qualify him, but 25, 76. Other players need room, so I'm just going to release him straight up. And Dale Mann will also be qualified, because I'm not sure what's going to happen with him. So qualify and find out. Anybody else unsigned who needs a contract? Tukio? Does Tukio need a contract? Or can we keep him in Europe for 1 more year? I don't know. We'll see when the season starts and how the AHL lineup looks. Let's advance today and just get the ELCs out of the way. Ryan Goalie's on board. Great. And for a much cheaper deal. The goalie coach doesn't want to be promoted to the assistant coach. So, bye-bye, Patrick Machovsky. Scouts are signing on as well. Good. Yeah, I mean a short UFA period, eh? Very much so. Okay, so UFAs is just Nesterov. RFAs are all qualified. Just comes down to Nesterov, who we'll have to wait on. It would have been great to get an 85% contract for a guy like this. Like 4 by 4.4 would have been really good. 4.4, 85% would have been 4 by 3.75 would have been a great contract. The lowest he's going to go is 4.025, which 85% is 3.425. We'll just have to wait. I'm not going to buy out a player when we're about to trade one away. So we'll just have to wait. until July 1st. Can I keep Machowski? As much as he disrespected us, I'd rather just sign him on instead of have to find a new coach. Machowski, how about more money? We need to trade Boldzuk to free up the extension dollars. We could potentially just trade... I don't know, could Blumdahl be enough, though? We'll see. I'm open to trading Boldzuk, but I'd prefer not to if we don't have to. I think that's a fair take. All scouts, Tiny Morgan. The franchise can continue to operate now that Tiny Morgan has resigned. Okay, Machowski, goodbye. Offering you $1 million to be in a role at above what you're qualified for, and you'll just sit for literally the rest of your career. You'll sit unsigned in the staff pool. Fired. You're fired. You're fired. Pass. Sidney Crosby as assistant coach. She's getting a little happier. Good. Big top 50 Bo, AHL head coach. Tough year in the AHL this past season, right? What was our record? No, we went to the Calder Cup final. Yeah, that's true. Big Bo brought us to the Calder Cup final. Okay, here we go. First day of free agency. Let's see who's available. If you look at the UFAs, UFA forwards sorting by overall to kick things off. Matty Beniers, Koltsov, Hischier, Vallon, Mikko Rantanen, Owen Tippett, Clayton Keller, Emil Hemming. I really wonder what he's asking for. Nesterov, 3 by 4.1. But for 2 years, it goes down a lot, actually. And I didn't even notice that. AHL staff chemistry went from 67 to 89 when we fired Machowski. Good. Toxicity. Get out of here. So it shouldn't be hard to sign Nesterov. You just got to free up the money. Well, first things first, let's also look at the extensions. Now this is July 1st. Like, Eriksson is due for an extension after his 8.425 bridge deal. Whew, he's going to want big money. Do we do it? We only have 9.96 available. We can't even do the big deal that we'd want to sign him to. 12.8. We'd want to sign Eriksson for 10.88 million. But we gotta... That's another reason why we probably have to trade Boldzuk then. Blumdahl wanted the 3 million. We gotta trade Blumdahl, sorry. So Blumdahl, Bishop, Boldzuk, they probably all need to go. It really hurts my heart. Let's do a real case study now, okay? Let's do a real case study. When we look at the defense, we should do player comparison. At least they're right next to each other. Ramirez and Boldzuk. First, just purely storyline. Jalen Ramirez, alternate captain. He's been an original Starfleet member. He was drafted back in our first year. He has played 623 games in his career with Starfleet so far. Drafted in the second round of 2024 in our first ever draft. 171 points, 2 Stanley Cups, a plus 103. Big issues in 2032-33, but bounced back in 33-34. Plus 27, but still 20 points when we want to see closer to the 30s from him. Able to eat big minutes. He close to 18 and a half per night. He's an 18-minute guy in his career. And on top of that, looking at the other intangibles here, he, on average, let's do this, 793 divided by 623. He gets you 1.27 hits per game, and about a block per game as well. At least a block and a hit per game. A block and a hit plus and block plus per game. Okay? So he gets, 100 some hits, close to 100 some blocks. There you go. Samuel Boldzuk is 5 years older, 2 inches taller, and making more money. But when we look at the attributes, his shot blocking is 4 better, and his stick checking is 3 better. Defensive awareness is 6 less, but that doesn't really matter. Skating, pretty even. He's a star higher on physical, 94, 94, 96 for aggressiveness, body checking, and strength, versus 85, 88, 88 for Jalen Ramirez. Boldzuk is signed on for 2 more years, while Ramirez is signed on for 5 more years. Okay? Now, looking at the numbers, I'm going to get good sleep and make some finishing touches on my friend's Discord. See you later. Sorry, the comment... Oh, yeah, okay, I thought the comment cut off. Perfect. Gamer, see you later. Thanks for stopping by. All the very best. Sleep tight, my friend. Now, Samuel Boldzuk has been better in the plus-minus category. He really seemed to solve our issues as well in the storyline. In the defense, it was falling apart. He came in and things turned around as soon as he came in. He played 19 minutes in year 1, 14-20 in year 2. In his 2 years, with less ice time, with about 4 minutes less than Ramirez, he put up like 30-40 less hits and like 20-30 less blocks. My heart says keep Boldzuk. My brain says keep Ramirez. Let me take a little sip of water while I just put together a package here in the trade. No matter who it is, they'll be with Blumdahl and Bishop. Let me know your thoughts on who should be the guy. Or is it even Moritz Seider? But Moritz Seider eats a lot more minutes. 8 million isn't crazy for him. And he's also good for 120 plus hits and blocks per year. I'll add the bone in the package, yes. That being said, if, like I said at the beginning of the episode, if there's someone younger on a better contract than Seider, we could make that trade too. So before we do any trade, we'll look at the trade blocks. Leaves King, welcome to the stream. Look at Stoner's trade value as well. Do we trade Kopecky? Lubomir Kopecky, do we throw him into a package? I try to do my best when I wrap Christmas presents. Yeah, I do pretty well. Trade Boldzuk says Gen Z. You like the Leafs King, you like the Mario Kart video? I'm glad you did, thank you. Kopecky, 11 points in 50 games. Do we trade him and his trade value right now, or is that too cheese? We need to wait a little bit more. Look at Filppula and Stoner and their trade value. Sheesh. So as of right now, if it were to be Blumdahl, and also less trade value from Boldzuk, so harder to get a good return. Bishop. And probably Olvecki. If that's the package, what could it get? Let's look at the trade blocks around the NHL. Anaheim, nobody. Arizona, nobody. Boston, Denton Mateychuk, 7.72 million. Buffalo, nobody. Calgary, nobody. Carolina. We can also look at player search after this. All those names still in Carolina. And Pastrnak already on the block. They did sign him, though. 1 year at 3.1. Hobbsy, my one question that I think I know the answer to, but wanted to ask anyways. If we traded both, is there a suitable replacement for cheaper in free agency? I'm assuming not. Great question, Hobbsy. We'll look at that as soon as we look at the trade blocks. Good question, though. Blackhawks, nobody. Avalanche, nobody. Blue Jackets, nobody. Looking at NHL caliber defenseman. Tyson Forster, Christian Kyrou, no. Have to be a bigger name. Edmonton, Florida. A lot of teams with no one on the block at this moment. Kalen Addison, not who I'm looking for. Mini, Montreal, Kirby Dach on the block, 13 million is his contract. Whoa. Nashville, New Jersey, Holtz, Mercer, all forwards though. We're looking for the defense. Noah Dobson, but he's 34 in New York for the Islanders. Rangers, nobody. Sens, JJ Peterka. There you go, Hobbsy. JJ Peterka. Flyers, Penguins, San Jose, Seattle, St. Louis. Former Starfleet officer Consta Helenius. Toronto, Vancouver, Vegas, Washington, Winnipeg. No, nothing on the trade blocks. If we exit out here, just look at free agency for a moment. If we look at free agents, but only for forwards. If we look at UFA defensemen, Tom Willander could be a guy, but just don't have the money. Just don't have the money. Plus, his offense is nothing special. After that, it drops right down to Korzak, Lenstein, Liljegren, and they want big, big paydays. Shoo, they want paydays. Goalies, anyone interesting? Emanen, our good friend Topi Emanen. The Predators let him walk in the end, and now he wants 7.65 million as an 85 overall. Like, this would be a great contract if you needed somebody. Look at this, Stanley Hunter. I'd almost sign him and just get rid of Zherdev, but you got to go with Sims well. Stanley Hunter wants a 2-year deal as an 84 overall with medium league potential at 25 years of age. That's crazy. Meanwhile, an 82 with low elite wants 4x7 at the same age. That's ridiculous. Stanley Hunter, 3rd round pick. Stanley Hudson. That's why he's been disrespected. He's been buried in the AHL. Finally saw the NHL. Went 10-5-3 in his rookie season as a backup. But I don't want to dump Zherdev, who, yes, is a 79 overall, but it's a tempting name, I know. Yeah, we're very close to 8K. We keep going up and down in subscribers. Never stays stable, unfortunately. He had a 2.08 goals against average, 929 save percentage. It would be hard to trade out Zherdev for a guy that is untested. Yeah, Zherdev has simmed very well. We can't turn our back on that fact. So that being said, contracts we looked at. What did I not look at? Player search. Player search. Is there a young right-handed defenseman who makes under 8 million? Let's see if he even exists. Salary max, 7 million. Third goalie would be Brule if needed, but we could sign somebody else as well. Making 7 million. Defenseman. Right-handed. Overall, at least, I don't know, 85? Anybody exist? 17 exist. Let's see. Should I refine it a little bit more? Oh, sorry, no. Why was the salary not there? I put the salary max. It just disappeared? Of course it disappeared. If I say 8 million... Fritzmeier, who's this guy? Leo Fritzmeier. German as well. Replaces Moritz Seider as a German? He's an RFA, he's second overall pick in 2031. Two-way D. Leo Fritzmeier. Oh, but he just went to Vancouver. It wouldn't make sense. 3 years in Toronto, 2030. Yeah, he just got traded to Vancouver. Wouldn't make sense. Just got traded as an RFA. Why is he an RFA? What exactly happened, I wonder? Oh, no, he is on Toronto. It's just the game playing around. He's not actually on Vancouver. Yeah, he is in Toronto. So he's an RFA, but they have the money to sign him. Him and Allen need contracts. Moen, stat. But they have enough cap space to get it done. Probably. If he went in the trade block in the future, I'd consider it. Unless we give them Moritz Seider. Depends what they're trying to be. Bouchard 34, Aston 34, and then there's Ramirez. So really no one who stands out to me. Seider's the best option on that right side, unless we go Fritzmeier. And if we did go Fritzmeier, shoulda, woulda, coulda, I'd go for him, says Mighty Joe. If I give you Moritz Seider, you're buyers. The Leafs are buyers. He played top pair with Dahlin. Fritzmeier is as good as Seider, it looks like. Yeah, I don't know if it makes sense for the Leafs. We have to really make it worth their while. If I give you Seider, Blumdahl, and that's a good point from Hobbsy. There's no guarantee he wants under 8. Let's actually, yeah, good point. Let's go and see what he's asking for right now. We will be able to get him at 85%, or at least closer to it once we as an RFA. But it still would be around the number that he's looking at. Good point here. So where am I going? Sorry, free agents. Fritzmeier, 6x11, but watch, we'll change the years and see what it says. 7x10 he wants. Or even, we could keep him as an RFA, 4 years as an RFA, 8.975. We could get him 4 years at 7.65, and you free up only 400k. But you also trade Blumdahl. Or do you go 1 year? Seven years, 10 point, it would be about, yeah, of course, 8.5, yeah, 85% of 10, yeah. Would it make sense for Toronto, though, to want to do that? Or would we just say, let's stop playing around, let's trade Boldzuk and move on? So how much money would that be freeing up exactly? Seider at 8. Blumdahl at 1.25. And who else was it? Bishop, the rights to Bishop. That would leave us with about 12 million. So, hold on. 112 minus 100.19. That leaves 11.81 million. If we could get Fritz Meyer at 7.85, let's say, or whatever, that leaves 3.96. It would be tight for Nesterov, but it would probably be possible. Do the Leafs even want that trade, though? One German defender for another. They're buyers. They want all three of these pieces. Who else matches their block? If we're keeping, we could probably trade Dale Mann. Even Reginald Lombardi, 77 for 23. At 23. I'll trade Olevecki. Does this make sense, ladies and gentlemen? Or do we just say, let's trade Boldzuk and forget about Fritz Meyer, he's too good? Well, I just gotta do something quickly here, my apologies. I want to hear from some of the AGMs, though. I just have to pull up Lombardi instead of Mann. Sure, it's more of my question is, would a package like this for Fritz Meyer make sense, or should we just trade Boldzuk and keep Seider and not do this deal because the Leafs wouldn't want to do it? They'd be taking on a lot of money. They'd have not a lot of money to sign their other RFAs. They'd have only $4.5 million. They'd have only $4.5 million to sign Alanin and Moen. The more I think about it, the more I think it doesn't make sense for the Leafs. I'm just keeping an eye on... Is Nesterov super important? If not, swap Seider and Boldzuk. Realism, I'm not sure. Yeah, I really want Nesterov. His shooting accuracies and everything. I want him on that third line this year. Take a bad contract? Ooh, good point. Sorry, I'm just taking care of something here. So if we take a bad contract from the Leafs, any expiring? Yeah, but they're good players. Klim Kostin or Harrison even. 79 Harrison. So if you take Harrison back, yeah, that frees up. That's good. That 2.425. That's probably enough for them. Yeah, we'd flip that contract. We'd flip it. It's not an impossible contract, just a bad contract. That the AI isn't smart enough to move out. That leaves them with 7 million about for those two RFAs. Gen Z had said Lombardi instead of Mann. The thing is, Mann costs, he's qualified, so he costs right now, so we'd free up more money if we traded him. Because the defense would still be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then who's 6? I'd rather have Ylonen over Mann, probably, at that cost. I'd probably keep Mann, honestly, in the deal. Yeah. If we did it, though, and who knows if the Leafs even want to do this. You know what? They probably don't even want to do this. The trade value is not that much in our favor. So I think I'm going to send it. But if they don't want to do it, I'm not going to play with it. Toronto, what do you say to this? This could be a huge moment. Toronto? What? Trade accepted! Whoa! Was not ready for that. I thought for sure that'd be a no deal. Whoa! That is a generational move for Starfleet. Generational. I didn't want to move Moritz Seider, but with the mistakes that he made in some of the overtimes and how Fritz Meyer can be the better him a German right D, and we get to get value back for what we're moving out. Whoa, whoa, that really took me by surprise. So we could have gotten, we could have traded Bishop and Blumdahl for a package with a second, a third, and all that. But we need players, boots on the ground. We want to go back to back, and we want to be establishing a dynasty here. Sider's great, and he would have been great for another couple of years, but eventually he would have regressed. I'm not sure if anybody else was ready to take that spot in the lineup. That is a huge get, not just for now, but for the future. Thank you, Moritz Seider, for everything here in Starfleet. We didn't want to move him. We weren't shopping him. We weren't really angry with him. It just came down to a hockey deal. And it makes sense. When he signed his big contract with us, it makes sense that you'd say the first 5 years or whatever, full no-trade clause, and then the last 3 years, modified 8-team trade list or something. And the Leafs are buyers, so it's not like we traded him to a bottom-feeding team. The realism fits perfectly. The only thing that probably would be the question would be, what do those other players want for the Leafs to sign their RFAs? I get floored by a trade at least once a year. I definitely got floored by this one. Moritz Seider, he eats big minutes, though, so we're taking a risk here. We're taking a big risk to go so heavy on Fritz Meyer. Captain Data with the extraordinary commentary, as always. Vendetta, I thank you, my friend. Very kind. Fritz Meyer! Guten Tag, Leo. I don't know why it said Vancouver, now it says Calgary. Guten Tag, Leo. Let's go. 6 foot, right and left. He has the no contest, yoink, truculence, and magnetic on the X factors. 30 points this past year, playing not even 23. Oh, okay, yeah, playing same minutes as Seider. So I wonder what he can do at his absolute best. Former second-round pick in 2031. This is a huge moment for Starfleet moving forward, a big turning point possibly. So Bolduc will stay. For how much longer, we'll see, but he'll stay for now. Correct? We'll see what Fritz Meyer costs us. Worst case, we still trade Bolduc, actually. And a plus 45 last year. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. You know what I gotta do? Give me 1 second. I need to win an auction for a hockey card. For my buddy. Give me a quick second here. Actually, I have a minute. 88 overall, 21. Superb. Super team assemble. Yes, of course, the super team. So let me see here. The RFA. So Fritz Meyer. He wants 6 by 11 point. Why does it say our cap space is 8.2? Is it because of the qualified RFAs? Is that why? What happened to all of our cap space that I thought we were going to have? I traded Blumdahl and man, that only freed up, Blumdahl only freed up 200k? I thought he was supposed to free up 1.2. Give me a sec here. Yeah, do you trade out, who's the other, you're saying Bolduc? Did I get him the card? Did I win the auction? Yeah, I believe I did. Okay, so anyways, all that to say, probably 7 years makes the most sense. Oh, yes, the Leafs contract! Hobbsy, you're a lifesaver. The Leafs contract, the other guy that we took on. Hobbsy, you're a savior. A lifesaver. What was his name again? He was a forward. Was it Harrison or something? Yeah, it was Harrison. Great. Who wants him in the East? Capitals want him. Great. 7th round pick. Don't want to cheese it. What do you say, Washington? 7th. There you go. Happy to accept the proposal. Okay. Woo! I was getting scared there. We get the calculator out. Okay. Now we can look at Fritz Meyer. Actually, it wasn't a hockey card. It was a soccer card of, what's his name? Lamine Yamal. So now I have 9.7. Still not a ton. I thought we'd have more. So do we go 8 years? Do we do the 4-year bridge? Probably with the way defensemen want money, 7 or 8 for sure. 10.075, 8.565, 5. Do we do 7 years at 8.575? Or do we do 8 years at 9.15? Extra $600K per year to get the extra year? Because you know when his contract is up and he's 29 or whatever, he'll be wanting $15 million. You know that. Do we pay the extra $600K per year to delay that by an extra year? Because normally I would say go for 8, but we're tighter on money than we ever have been, really. So we might need to go up 7, not the smarter move, but the necessary move to go 7 years. I don't know. Not the smarter financial move, but the necessary move. We lose a year of Fritzmeier to get 2 more years of Bolduc. But then we also need to extend Eriksson. You know what? This is Bolduc last season for sure, because Eriksson's going to need his contract after as well. Yeah, if that's the case, we probably go 8, because Bolduc won't stay beyond this season. Sorry, let me just open this. Sorry for the pause here. Okay. So if we go 8 years at 9.125, let's offer it and see what he says. I don't like offering the extra 600K, but guaranteed at the end of his of this contract, he's looking for 15 plus million. 20-year deal. So although I'd feel better doing 7, I think 8 might make sense just because of franchise mode. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to send him that. Leo Fritzmeier. Data, I'm selling my... I got to try and sell my hockey cards. But you will see a return. There's some cards I'm trying to sell still. You will see a return one day. Then Eriksson. There would be money for Eriksson, would there not? He wants a lot right now. Okay, let's wait on. Let's see what Fritzmeier says and go from there. Okay. Sorry, I keep getting notifications on this auction. Let's advance a couple days, unless Nestrov's getting sent offers. I should send, yeah, and let me check this. UFAs, forwards. Is Nestrov receiving any offers right now? 83. No offers right now. So I don't need to rush it just yet, but as soon as he gets an offer, I'm going to have to put it in high gear a little bit. By the way, any players with decent potential who are two-way out here? Might want to join the system. DeLuca. Ahmed DeLuca. Playmaker. No, these guys are no good. It would be someone for the AHL system later on. If we look at affordable. Medium League 24. Data versus Desora pack battle. Some Tim's packs. And these guys are all RFAs. Unless, no, there's no teams interested, they're not. Pronger. Ronnie Pronger. Could go Ronnie Pronger, former 7th round pick. No, then he wants 1.2, so forget it. But he would do 2 years at... Now, I don't know what spots we need in the AHL. Forget it. Unless somebody really stands out. Or like this guy, Alan. Oh, but he's... Doesn't sending a low ball help lower the price? Yeah, I'm not sure about that one, Vendetta. Mini Sticks Data versus Desora. Woohoo! Corliak 2276. Again, another guy who wants 1.2 though. Last 2 years at 2 years 1.1 now. Forget it. Okay. And goaltending, going a third goalie in here. Hunter's really tempting. Super, super tempting. No. In a hotel hallway. Has to be. Okay, so that being said, let's also check the scouts. Then we can advance a few more days. Sorry, scouts. Actually, everyone's A, or the worst we have is A minus. So yeah, I wouldn't even sign any scouts. No scouts to sign. Sorry, scouts. Okay, I think I'm done with the auction. Thank you, everyone. Had to help out my buddy. Come on, Leo. Fritz Meyer, come to Starfleet, buddy. Come on. The new German in town. No Toronto, no thank you. That Sky Lucic contract hurt. Yeah, and a third AHL coach will do that too. Let me check one more time on Nestrov now we advance a couple days. Let's hire an AHL assistant coach. We'll probably go probably another 20 minutes or so. Yeah, we'll finish before 2 hours. Probably another 20 minutes or so. We're close to wrapping up here. B teaching. Let's go for this guy. Isaiah Gibbons. Here, $800K for 8 years. Okay. Now we keep going back to Nestrov. A lot of things you got to keep in mind at the same time. Anyone sending Nestrov a contract? Still, and now he wants 3 years at 3.25. Good, 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 good. That's exactly what we wanted to sign him for. Yes, yes, let's go. Do we even go long term? No, that would be a bit too cheese. But 7 would be too cheese. But 4 or 5 could make sense. 4 or 5 could make sense on Nesterov. I could see 5. 3.425. I don't want to go down to like 5 by 3. Would he want to do a 5 by 3? Let's see what he says. 5 by 3 on Nesterov. As we advance another day. Come on, Leo! Let's go, Leo! I've decided to accept your offer. I look forward to making an impact on the team. Guten Tag, Leo! Let's go! Leo Fritzmeier. Big moment. Moritz Seider. Very sad to see him go. Possibly a Data 72... No, I wouldn't say Data 72 Hall of Fame nominee. But I would say an honorable mention and a big part of this team for the last 5 years. Did he win both Stanley Cups or just one? I think just one Stanley Cup ring for him. Yeah. So Fritzmeier on board leaves us with 1.535 of cap space. So I think we got to make another deal out here. Unfortunately, we'd have to trade somebody else. Eric's not able to be extended either. We have to trade somebody else. And Boldzuk's probably that guy. Man, that's too bad. Makes me sad. That really makes me sad. Who knows? Maybe we reacquire him when if we need help on defense. He doesn't have a lot of trade value, which is the good thing. That's really, really too bad. Oh, man. We got a 3rd and a 6th from the Blue Jackets. Yeah. Best offer from Columbus. Not even that's 2036 picks. For a cheaper 3rd D. Oh, that's true. We can get a cheaper 3rd D. Actually, because who would our 3rd D be right now? Third pair. Hudson, Fritzmeier, Eriksson, Ramirez, Ylonen. Yeah, and Dale Mann we traded. So, of course, yeah. So we need Ylonen. We need like an 80... 80 to 82 overall defenseman. Yeah, sorry, I'm not trading for picks. I'm trading for a defenseman. Oh, good call there, Gen Z. I would have said who's on defense here. Player search. Let's get a defenseman. Right-handed preferably, but I guess it doesn't have to be. Max salary is like 3 million. So signed on at least a year, yeah. And we're saying at least 80 overall. What do we got? 11 players, thank goodness. There's someone. Sorting by overall. Go to the bottom here. Actually, let me just take out the big guys. Actually, well, just take out Yoshida, basically. Overall max. Let's just take out Yoshida. So 10 options for us. Oh no, he's 82. Oh, someone else was 88. Okay, so Maltby, these are some younger players. Are we looking at prospects? Probably not so much. The guy 18 and 20, it wouldn't make sense. So let's get minimum age 21. He's 24, gotcha, hold on. Lieb is 21? Is 24, sorry? So that brings it down to 8. Lieb, I could see Lieb, 80 overall. One more year, they're all at 1 or 2 years, that's the thing. Kolyachonok. Could we refine it a little bit more? Lieb, 91 shot blocking. Defensive defenseman, that's the kind of guy we're looking at. So let's refine it a little bit more. I bet Lieb would be the best option, but let's just make sure. If we look at shot blocking, and say minimum 85, does that cut anybody out? I don't think it did. Max Guinnett, there he is. Stick checking as well. Minimum 85. Did that cut anybody out? Cut one guy out. Lieb's still out there. Guinnett's still out there too. So Lieb is making 2.5 million, but we'd free up almost 3 million. Expiring deal, but he's 24. Could be extendable. Lieb we said at 91 shot blocking. So if somebody wants to beat him, we got to see someone with like 88 plus shot blocking probably. So bring it up to 88. Anybody else get cut from that list? Now down to 6. Down to 6. We're refining our search here, looking for scholarly articles on EBSCO. Hobbs injured in the franchise? No, that's too bad, Mighty Joe. Okay, let's go from the top actually. So Barry Maltby, offensive defenseman, but 89 shot blocking, 89 stick checking, and 98 passing. Whoa. 6th round pick, Barry Maltby. 35 points last season. That's crazy. That's really crazy. Lieb is also a right-handed defenseman. Sorry, he's left-handed, but a right D. Lieb, top 4 D potential. 8 big minutes last year. 130. Yeah, it's got to be Lieb. It's got to be Lieb. Kolyachonok, 38. Yeah, it's Lieb. Lieby. All right, Winnipeg. You're conservative sellers, really. Okay. So I'll trade you Samuel Bolduc. Sadly. I believe. Probably not enough value here anyways. Yeah, no problem. We'll add a little bit for you. Do I throw in a prospect? We have a ton of picks, eh? Yeah, well, they don't want picks. Okay. They want rookie skaters? Yes. What junk can I throw in here? What junk can we toss in? Zaitsev, 63. Oh, we just signed him, though. It doesn't have to be junk. Let's throw in somebody, one of these RFAs. 74 25, Morales. Wasn't he a second-round pick? Yeah, second-round pick turned into nothing. Jordan Morales, medium top 6 potential. There's something for you, Winnipeg. There's a little value. A little ROA. If I can take back a pick. How about I take back a 4th, and I swap you one of our 7ths. Yeah, I'll give you Washington's 7th. Morales, essentially, it's Morales and a 7th for a 4th. What do you say, Winnipeg? Still rejected. Okay, I'll put a 6th, and if not, we'll just take out the picks. 6th for a 4th, rejected. Okay, so take it out, take it out. Just Morales, trade accepted. All right, thank you, Winnipeg. Let's do it. I believe in Lieb. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome to San Francisco. Is it Jason? Jason Lieb? Great news. Great news. Sad, though, to move on from Boldzuk, though. They have a French name. I'd like some help pronunciation. Can't even read. When it's too long of a comment, it goes off my screen. I gotta open on my laptop. Oh, Data, I have a French name I'd like some pronunciation on. Helps my commentary. His name is Tugdual Gaillard from France. Tugdual. That's not a French name, that's for sure. But Gaillard is definitely a French name. Gaillard. But that first name I've never seen before. Okay, so, and if Lieb wants an extension, he'd be an RFA. We can wait on Lieb. He'll be an RFA. He wants about 4 some million, but we can wait on him. Ericsson's the big one. Do we extend him now or wait? Honestly, I don't think, I've said this before and I've been burned a little bit, but I don't think it's going to go higher than this. It's high, but I don't think it's going to go higher than this. So I'd say let's wait on Ludwig Eriksson a little bit until we can find the right time to extend him. And hopefully, with our 4.75 million in cap space, Nesterov signs on for his 5x3 that we offered him. That would be best case scenario. Yeah, we'll wait on Eriksson. Another day, come on. Isaiah Gibbons, welcome to the team as associate coach. Come on, Nesterov. No, not enough. I have an offer to salary. Okay. At least he didn't sign with another team. Nesterov not interested in that deal. Nesterov, he's still out here. 3x3.225 he wants. It's not that I don't want to offer him 3.225, it's that I wanted to bring it to 5 years. But we could just offer him exactly what he's looking for. Maybe down to like 3.15. 5x3 he didn't want. How about 5 by 3.15? That'd be 4 by 3.15? 5 at 3.2, says Hobbsy. 3.175 by 5, extra 175k, and his demands have come down. Let's try that. 3.175. Let's get fancy with it. Advancing a few more days. Pasternak being offered back to us from Carolina. One more. No! Okay, I'm trading for him. That's ridiculous. We should have had him from the beginning. It's a joke. 6x3. No, I didn't want to do that. What did Philadelphia get him for? I would have offered him, my next offer would have been 3x3, like exactly what he wanted. So hopefully the Flyers just didn't offer him too much higher than that. Nesterov, 3.295 for 3 years. All right, I can do that. I don't think so. 100k less for 2 more years of security for a guy who just had his rookie season? I don't think it was that bad. I gave him 2 more years of security on a Stanley Cup winning team. What can we give you here? What can I give you? What junk can I throw your way? Unless I just sign another player. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to sign a different player for the same contract, and then just flip him to Philadelphia so that there's no cheese going on. Where I just dump my junk on the Flyers, and then they end up missing out on a player that they wanted to sign. I'll give you a similar player. 3.295. So I'll sign a player 3.3 by 3. A winger at 3.3 by 3. Actually, look at affordable. 3.3 by 3. Seneca. Let's do that. Or Ruchin might be better. There you go. I'll give you the younger player. Actually, I'll even sign him for less. I'm saving you money. I'm saving you money, Philadelphia. Taylor Ruchin. Because really, if it came down to it, in the real world, they would have said, listen, Philadelphia offered us this, we're going with them. I'll say, okay, we'll match it. But that's the problem with with there not being a free agency game or anything in franchise mode. You get to do games like this. So Philadelphia, you don't miss out. You get your forward. You even get to save a little bit of money. And let me guess, he'll be cheering in the streets. What was his name again, this guy? Already forgot. Ruchin, there you go. And I'll even add some value for your trouble. I don't know. How close does the 7th get it? I don't think it gets it done, but how close does the 7th get it? Rejected. Let me throw in a no-name. We're going to keep Nabokov, yeah. Do we trade away Lombardi? Yeah, it's all about the taxes. That's exactly it. Reginald Lombardi, 22 points in 82 games. I don't know, Reginald. Is Reginald ever going to grow? Who knows? Just toss him in. Not going to change my life. Reginald, King Reginald the 6th. Trade accepted. There you go. Thank you, Philadelphia. Nesterov, welcome back. That leaves us now with 2.43 million. Yeah, that is an S tier name, unfortunately, that we part with. Okay, so our actual extension dollars, we have 11.1 to play with, so we'll see what... Yeah, Eriksson, look at the numbers that Eriksson wants right now. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. So we'll definitely wait on him. And Lieb... Yeah, we'll wait on Lieb. Yolonen... We can't even sign him right now anyways. Nabokov. Do we sign Nabokov right now? Yeah, we can do 2 years, two-way. Yeah, absolutely. Let me get all the RFAs signed onto those kinds of contracts. And Malkin, 77-23. 2 years, two-way, stays at an RFA. Yes, don't mind if I do. Yes, please. And 1 year for Grabeshkov. Yes, please. So, very tight in the cap situation. Big moves. We free up a little bit of money. Fritz Meyer actually doesn't really free us up money in the end. But just was a good now and future move, I believe. Yes, mulling over the offer, blah, blah, blah. Thank you very much. Great. Okay, so I think we can sim to next season, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just get the draft class randomized. Draft class quality and general prospect quality. We just had a medium draft. So let's change things up for this one. Let's say, hold on, random number 1 to 100. Let's say 1 to 25 is low, 26 to 74 is medium, and 75 to 100 is high. Let's do that. 1 to 100, randomizing. Random number 1, 28. So just barely. It'll be a medium draft class quality again. And the generated prospect quality will be 22. Ouch, low, huh? That hurts. It's going to be a medium low draft after it's already a bad draft class. I don't know. I feel, does it, because it was just a bad, it was a medium class. It was more unscouted than a bad class, but I feel bad doing a medium low class after it was just a bad, yeah, last year's, you know what? I'm going to pull an executive decision here, as Gen Z McKenzie says here. That generated prospect quality last year did not feel like it was actually medium. So I'm not going to go high. I'm not going to re-simulate the numbers. I'm going to keep it medium. That it could be just as bad, but I'm going to keep it medium. It wouldn't make sense to have, because this last draft was not an actual medium draft. Black Frost, time to trade those picks. This last 2034 draft was not an actual medium class. It felt like a low medium or a medium low, even a low maybe. But I don't know, there's a franchise player, so yeah, medium low or low medium. But let's go medium again and see what happens. I'm gonna pull an executive decision here. It was 22 even. What's the difference between draft quality versus prospects? It's more the overall draft class quality is like the quality throughout the draft. While the prospect quality is like the potential that you find. Like, could there actually, maybe I'll let the game define it even. It's hard for me to define. That's the prospect quality. Draft class quality is definitely throughout though. Prospect quality is like, will you get a franchise player? Could there be some elite players late? The quality of prospects generated. When sent to high, more top-end prospects are generated. But when set to high in draft class quality, stronger draft classes, which means prospects throughout are generated. So it's the class itself versus the individual prospects, I guess you could call it. Okay, Let's finally sim to next season then. We got a lot of offers now. Skylar Lucic, we put a lot of faith in you, buddy. Come on. Oh, I just hit a ton of hydration there. Stay hydrated, everybody. Stay hydrated. Oof, that was a lot of dehydration. The Leafs. I wonder, do the Leafs have their money to sign these guys, or are they just not doing it? So they're having trouble with Moen. They signed Alanin at 2.3. No, but they made a mistake. I don't think Laine was here. They made a mistake. I gave them the money to sign their RFAs. Okay, he was here. I gave them the money to sign their RFAs, and they went out and signed a free agent. That's not my fault. I feel zero remorse for that. Stay hydrated. That's a good one, Vendetta. That's very good. I could put that on merch. Stay hydrated. You know what? Let me put that in my notes on my phone. Can I give you some royalties for that one, Vendetta? Oh yeah, it was a hot one today. Stay hydrated. I like it. I wrote it down. Okay, let's see what kind of growth we had over the offseason now, ladies and gentlemen, moving into 2034-35. Looking at a quick glance, I see Rask 85, Nestrov 84, Langkow 80, very good. How about Fritzmeier? Still at an 88, very good. Lieb. Okay, let's go ahead and make the roster moves before we think about the actual lineup. Forwards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, Ferguson, Malkin. So Malkin definitely goes down. Just wait for Data's new line mentioned. Yeah, it's coming. Probably next, whenever we do a season episode of somebody. When the time is right. Yeah, probably next time. Could it be, maybe on Monday it'll happen. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, Nabokov and Ferguson. Let me send down Nabokov just for a moment to set the lineup. Then I'll call him back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. And goalies, Zerdev's up to an 80. That's nice. Okay. So let me just back out for a second. Best lines it. Now go back to roster moves. Now I'll call up Nabokov. And do we call up Funk? We need a 7th D. Or do we just trade for a 7th D? Probably just makes more sense to trade for a 7th D. Because I want Funk, Fister. I want these guys to probably stay in the AHL, no? Oh, and the AHL goalies, we have to check those guys. AHL goalies. Where am I going? Brûlé at a 78 overall now. So I have to sign any of these? I'd have to go out and sign maybe like 2 AHL forwards and 1 AHL defenseman. Okay. So in the NHL, the lineup would look something like this. Who had Cheating Heel mentioned on the 4th line instead of Ferguson? Cheating Heel had said... no, he didn't give thoughts on the 4th line. He was saying about the top 6. Gotcha. And Gen Z's comment... sign the Finnish prospect for the AHL. Yeah, actually, you know, we might just go ahead and do that. Langkow, Emelin, Ferguson. Langkow, yeah, okay. We're pretty much there. Okay, so sorry. Valchevitz, McIntyre, Perfetti. So let's say we go Perfetti. The funniest name available for the AHL. I like that. We give Lucic a chance, but he doesn't really fit. He fits the second line great, so I'd probably keep him second. McIntyre. Then Nazar goes here. Stenberg's up here. Nestrov, Nazar goes up here. He's here. Rask, Nazar, Nesterov, 84 overall with a 98 shooting accuracies. I'm telling you, this guy could be like the next Skylar Lucic. I could see it. Lafreniere, no, McIntyre, Perfetti and Lafreniere can't play together, so Valchevitz go actually be +1, +3. Something like that. Do we play Lafreniere? Tested for agent offering low balls to players does seem to lower asking price. I think it could also be Vendetta. You're not wrong, but it could also be that Once they reject your offer on like July 6th or 7th, and no one else has signed them, that could also be why their demand has come down. Rask and Stenberg should switch. I don't know, it's tough because Stenberg has had back-to-back 70-plus point seasons with like limited ice time. I want to see what he can do as a playmaker in the top 6. And Rask might force his way in, though. That's the thing. So the lineup, as we said in the comments, it would be Valchevitz, McIntyre, and Perfetti on one line. But Lucic can't really play on the first. Unless McIntyre goes here, Perfetti goes here, Stenberg goes second line center, and Valchevitz goes there, giving Stenberg a chance at center. 80 faceoffs. Could do that. Or we keep it how... So +2, 0 or +1, +3? Or +1, +1 if Stenberg goes second line, actually. That's 2 playmakers then. Is that no good? I don't know. I'll wait to hear your thoughts on the lines, but for the third and fourth line, they'd be like this. Yes. Willie Ferguson probably gets his shot to make the team here. 78 overall, former second-round pick. Ferguson, Emelin, and Langkow. Oh, interesting. Good thinking, Vendetta. So then you're probably more... I'd give more weight to your argument then. I'd give Otto the top-line spot to start. So Stenberg comes for who? Lafreniere? And then Perfetti plays line 1? McIntyre goes down? No, then he can't go down. But we don't need to decide it now. Get it in your comments, ladies and gentlemen. And on defense, Hudson, Fritzmeier, Eriksson, Ramirez, Lieb, and Ylonen. Love that. For Valchevitz, okay, so we can leave it off as this for the time being. I wonder if Lucic is better on the right wing, even. We can leave it off like this for now. Defense would be +1s across the board. Great. Mykola Zherdev, and then Nabokov. Stanislav Nabokov, 78 overall, playmaker, former first-round pick in 2029. We want to get this man into the NHL. He's had a couple of really good seasons in the AHL as a playmaker. He'll have to prove himself in the preseason, I guess. What would the chemistry be if you switched Rask and Stenberg? +1, +1 on the first and the third. It would be 0-0. Rask does not have a good fit on the first line. Yeah, he fits. He's like Lucic, second, third, fourth, but not first. Everywhere but. So Rask could be a future second liner, absolutely. Skylar Lucic on that big $6.1 million deal. Come on, Skylar. And Leo Fritzmeier. All right. Captaincies for next season. Are we keeping Ramirez with the A? I think so. Captain McIntyre with Perfetti and Ramirez at the A's. But I'm close to giving one to Skylar Lucic. I know Doggy was saying that he wanted to give one to Skylar. Did we go past the 2-hour mark? I said we'd finish in about 20 minutes here. I think we're on like 25 minutes. Okay, so to close things off, what do I need to do? What do we need to do? First, edit player. I want to see Leo Fritzmeier's face. Do we have any storylines to follow with him? As the created, not as the generated player. From Germany. Ada Sider, yeah. Fritzmeier. Oh, wow, a black player out of Germany. Always love those cool storylines. Really cool. All right. It goes into more of the crazy generation from how EA gives you different races and names from places in which you don't really see it. But hey, in 2034, anything's possible. I would love to see a black player out of one of those like mid to northern European countries come out and be a star. Let's do it for Leo. Let's make him a star here in Starfleet. Not a lot of minorities coming out of those countries who are NHL stars. Can I think of any who are NHL stars who are minorities? Yeah, don't let the subreddit don't let the EA NHL franchise subreddit hear you say that. I know they hate when there's things that don't make sense like that. Like Joe Smith from Hungary. Who else have we not looked at? Have we looked at Rickard Rask? Rickard. Nothing special for Rickard Rask. Cool hair, though. Okay. And Nestrov. Let's look at Nestrov before we close it out. Artem Nestrov. Another black player, but does he have a beard? Hold on, let me see this beard a little closer. Okay, it's a full beard. I thought it was the handlebars for a second. I couldn't see the full beard. Looks like an old man, man. Looks like that forehead looks wrinkled. Oh, Lieb, Ferguson, Langkow. Good. There are other new ones we want to see too. Yes, Gen Z. Lieb, Ferguson, Langkow. I forgot to check Lieb's nationality. Gotta double check that. Greg Langkow making his NHL debut. We got him from the Canadiens in a trade last year. Average guy. Langkow, former 8th overall pick of the Canadiens. Jonas Lieb is Canadian. Yeah. So that's fine to throw with Ylonen. Yeah, surprise. Slim didn't call tonight. No, he didn't. He did not call tonight. Jonas Lieb, the Canadian. Ooh, look at this. Is that a Oh, rivaling Stefan Markstrom. Look at this man. Jack Frost. It's not. We have the Silver Surfer in Vancouver and Jack Frost here in San Francisco. I love it. Jack Frost, Jonas Lieb. Incredible. Incredible. Wow. Love it. And Willie Ferguson. Does he have a little bit of flow there? A little bit of a flow going for Willie. Cool. A little Patty Kane flow there for Willie Ferguson. Cool cat. I think Ferguson's also from Europe, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Denmark. He's Danish. Face the franchise father, Jack Frost. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we'll end it off with the trade blocks. As we have our lineup ready, our potential lineup. When it comes to free agency, if we want a 7th defenseman, we can call up Khalil Funk, Warrener. Who's this guy? Ken Warrener, 89 overall, still out here as an RFA. Who else? And then Moen from the Leafs. Of course, do we snag him up from the Leafs? 1 year, 3.9? No. So if we look at affordable defenseman, that's just, yeah, it comes down. We get goalie's son. I saw a guy named goalie. Maybe it's his son. 78 overall Bykov. Victor Bykov could be an option for us. Russian, which is good for the nationalities. Or we go out and trade for someone who's on the trade block. Could be someone in a low value kind of deal. Doesn't have to be a massive thing. When we look at the trade value on our team right now, it looks like this. If you're curious about any of that. Any other prospects growing? Kopecki's at a 65. Yeah, we'll look at our unsigned players in a minute. And don't forget, when it comes to our draft picks, we have a first, 2 seconds, 3 thirds, a 4th, a 5th, a 6th, and 2 sevenths in next year's medium draft. Do we sign some of our unsigned players? We could sign Tukio's up to a 75. Do we sign Tukio and give him top lines in the AHL? We could do that. Westcott, I don't think, would be ready, so we could do that for Tukio. And when we look at the trade blocks around the NHL, I'll also take a look at the draft class in a second. Trade blocks around the NHL, if anybody piques our fancy. Sorting by overall. If I sort by trade values, quite a few prospects on the block here in Anaheim. Oh, that's because I'm looking at rookie skaters. That's why. But still, quite a few. Vlasic, McQuaid, a few guys there. But keep in mind how crowded it's been. Is this a W stream? Yes, sir. Kniazev legend making $5 million. Kuhlmans, Hellison. Yeah, these are tough contracts. Mason McTavish, Zachary Bolduc, Matthew Poitras, Machelli, Neighbors, Samoskevich, former Starfleet officer, Rasmussen, Bordelot, Roslovich. Gavin, welcome to the stream, buddy. Musty, Trapchenko. Vancouver's going to be back either tomorrow or Saturday. Friday or Saturday will be Vancouver, Gavin. Get excited. Another Afinogenov here in Buffalo. Max Afinogenov's son, Jakub Afinogenov. From Ukraine. Wasn't Afinogenov from Ukraine as well? Or am I thinking Nick Antropov? From Kazakhstan. No. Hopefully Zume's growth is a good omen for the Coyotes franchise. I hope so. I'm thinking Kazakhstan. Silyev, Lucius, Tippett. Yeah, a lot of bigger names than we would need, really. 80 overall guys making $5 million. Aho, Jarvis, Kokanyemi, Neches. Yeah, these are tough contracts here in Carolina. Pasternak, they have him on the block. They have $21 million in cap space. Reichel, good prospects in Colorado. Bumgartner, Trenton Bumgartner, Grinder, 3.5-star physical, 77 overall. Nicolishin, Columbus, Xavier Kong. Yeah, remember Xavier Kong, King Kong. How big is Xavier Kong? 6'2". Okay. Dallas, Detroit, Brad Lambert on the block there. Robertson. Edmonton, Beck, Barlow, Evangelista, Mishak, McLeod. Florida, Zetterlund, Olsen, LA, not much. Minnesota, Haynes. Who's this guy? Noel Haynes, former 14th overall pick, medium lead sniper, 75 at 21 though. Yeah, I remember looking at Noel Haynes earlier on. Pasquale, another guy who was there, 74-19. Jude Pasquale. Montreal. Shout out to Pasquale the Penguino. Pasquale the Penguin, who's in the stream sometimes. Used to be big in the Twitch streams. Pasquale the Penguin was here often. I think Pasquale the Penguino is still here in the, just a quiet observer, if I'm not mistaken. Long time viewer. Shout out to the Penguin. Pasquale the Penguin. If you're, so I'm getting distracted by New Jersey's prospects. Pasquale the Penguin, if you're out there, keep waddling, my friend. We love you. Vasilov. Yeah, not the craziest numbers. Islanders, nobody. Rangers, Wallstrom, Lundstrom, Zadina. Wild stuff incoming? Whoa, what's going on here? What's incoming? Hemming, Farabee, Bjorn Fott, Green Tree. Sabrango could be a guy. But maybe it would be better to just look at the player search at this point. Kenyoni making too much. But I could see Sabrango might be the first guy on the block who makes sense money-wise. Keep Sabrango in mind. Harley, Mukmadulin, good old Shakira. Hellenius, Beniers, Paraskak, Gunther, Brisson, Chikrin, Casey. The Blues are selling. Paraskak on expiring deal. Tariq, 64 points last season. Could just sign the guy in free agency, yeah. Brathwaite, Hagel, Eichel. Moen is on the block in Toronto. They made some bad decisions. I mean, they want to trade Eichel, but we have three. Yeah, Americans win fit. Simashev and Ratu. There he is. Aku Ratu. I searched Antropov and Afinogenov to confirm. Antropov is from Kazakhstan. Max Afinogenov. So Nick Antropov from Kazakhstan. Max Afinogenov is Russian. Anyways, their wives both have the same name. And a week after Afinogenov's wedding, his sister married Max Pacioretty. If Wikipedia is accurate. Okay, that's what you're saying for wild stuff incoming. That's crazy. Wow, and now his son, Jakub Afinogenov, is in Buffalo. Washington. Maybe Zach Werenski as a depth guy to get a cup for. Did we have Jared McIsaac? Or is that in the Canucks series? Yeah, that was the Canucks series. I see him on the Canucks here. It's giving me flashbacks. Luke Hughes on the block in Washington. Wow. 70-point guy in the past. 20, 30 points in New Jersey. He goes to Washington, becomes 70-point guy. That's like Dobson in our Vancouver series. Same ice time, too. That's crazy. Yeah? Owen Pickering, too big of a contract. And Anton Lundell on the block. Oof. There's Boats. Why do they put him on the block? They're buyers. Now they're sellers. Ridiculous. Okay, draft class. Anyone interesting nationality-wise? Orr, Bobby Orr's grandson, Elliot Orr. Lebedev, Nordgren, Koskinen. Nothing too crazy. Some guys we already haven't covered. Yep. Some guys who didn't get drafted who are still around. Okay, so there are the trade blocks. There are the lines. There are the contracts. I think we're just about ready to wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen. The 2034 draft and offseason has come to an end, and we're ready to roll into, is it year number 12? Yes, year number 12 as reigning Stanley Cup and President's Trophy winners. Reigning Stanley Cup and President's Trophy champions. Moving into year number 12, 2034-35. Currently scheduled, keep an eye on the Discord server, this month, just to let you know, this month's going to be a bit of a wild one. Over the next 2 weeks, there's going to be a video or a live stream almost every day. Then after that, I'm going to be taking a week off, going to Florida. And then after that, I'm starting a new work contract, so uploads might be a little spotty for about a week or two while I get my footing. And then after that, in September, we're back to normal, your regularly programmed, scheduled data content. But for the next 2 weeks, it's going to be pretty busy. We got a video and a live stream today. We're going to have the Canucks tomorrow or on Saturday. A collab video with CP3 EP coming out soon. Coyotes on Monday, next Monday. Expos next Tuesday. But yeah, the next Starfleet. Next week, we'll have Starfleet on Thursday and Saturday, I believe. Or Wednesday and Friday, something like that. So keep an eye on the Discord server. But this week, it was one on the Thursday. Next week, it'll be 2 episodes. Yeah, I gotta stay hydrated in Florida. We'll have 2 Starfleet episodes. So hopefully, the 2034-35 season on like Wednesday or Thursday, and then the 2035 postseason on like the Friday or the Saturday. So keep an eye on the Discord server for that. We'll have 2 Starfleet episodes next week. We're trying to get out a lot of Arizona content as well. All that to say, it's just going to be a lot for the next 2 weeks, so I hope that you'll enjoy it. It's a bit of a slower July, so we'll try to do as much in the next 2 weeks, then a week off. But like I said for like the 4th time now, just keep an eye on the Discord server. Link in the description. Ladies and gentlemen, hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did. It was a big off season, big moves that I wasn't expecting. Let me know your thoughts on the Fitzmyer-Sider trade. Did it work out in the end? What are your lineup thoughts moving into year number 12 as well? That's going to be the big one. Lineups for forwards and defense. Give me your suggestions down here on YouTube or over in the Discord server. Link in the description. And as always, subscribe if you haven't already to be made aware of all of our uploads. Hit the bell to be notified when we go live. We're going to have a lot going in the next couple of weeks. You don't want to miss it. Breaking news analysis in the real world of hockey, if anything were to happen. Patrick Laine trade, ? As well as our multiple ongoing live stream series and our recorded series to boot. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for being here on this lovely Thursday evening. A great start to August. The term you're looking for is stay hydrated, exactly. Vendetta, Gavin, salutes to everybody. Everyone in the chat, Mighty Joe, Gen Z, Hobbsy, everyone out there. I see 14 watching, so we're more than just a few. You know, some of you just enjoy to watch, not always being vocal, and that is perfectly fine. I thank you as well out there in the shadows. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts on this lineup and getting this team on the ice. I'm really excited to see how Nesterov simulates and how Fitzmyer simulates especially. Jalen Ramirez, we've given you the chance. Let's see you take it and run with it. Same thing to Jonas Lieb. I can't wait to see how this guy simulates. I hope that he's going to become a fixture on that third pair. That would be great. But I'll end it there, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for everything. Stay hydrated, and we'll talk to you in the next one. Live long and prosper, my friends.